Welcome back, everyone, to LBS Responds To episode number 97. So yes, welcome back everyone to another LBS Response To. This is my weekly Q&A series I do here on my channel, where I pretty much take about 10 to 20 of your guys' questions regarding LEGO, Star Wars, personal life, and pretty much everything in between, and I answer them in a video like this. So if your question's not answered this week, be sure to leave it down below for next week. Three very quick things I want to get into. First off, the winner of this Newt Gunray minifigure from a couple days ago. The winner will be on the screen right now. So I did actually reply back to that comment also. So you have a couple days to, actually get in contact with me. Give me your address, confirm it's you. If not, I will pick a new winner, so there's that. Second off, guys, if you guys want to contact me over on Instagram still for the 212 foil bag, just a heads up, my Instagram handle did change. I went from LifeBricks_studios to just at LifeBricks. So finally, after a couple years, I was able to get that handle, and I'm very happy with it. Lastly, if you guys did not see my community post or my Instagram post, here are the first images of the box arts for the Clone Commander Cody helmet and the Captain Rex helmet. I was the first one to actually get these in HD quality, so here's that. And lastly, the reason why I'm doing this today is tomorrow, I guess, there's a big rumor, like a 90% chance we're actually going to be seeing the 2023 spring set pictures. So I kind of wanted to free up tomorrow, be able to get some content out there with those sets, do a live stream tomorrow and all that. So nonetheless, let's get into the questions for this week. Starting off with the first question from Crunchbricks here. Ask LBS, does the B1 Battle Droid deserve a remake? So this has been a question for a long time now. Of course, we've had the exact same B1 Battle Droid for basically 24 years now. So I think my biggest answer to this is I think nowadays, no, we don't. But if it was 10 years ago, I think that would have been a lot better because, now we have almost 25 years of people buying the exact same battle droid. The only difference, straight arm, curved arm. I mean, that's just such a minor difference anyway. So I think getting back to that is I think everyone's kind of content with the fact we have regular battle droids now that are the exact same. The people have got 20 of them, 30 of them, 500 of them, all of the exact same stature, no prints, very basic molding, no posable arms, no posable legs. But I think if we looked at it like, say, 10 years ago, when it wasn't as far along into the process of, almost being 25 years now, I think it would have been a lot easier to say, understand 10 years ago the fact if we get an upgrade where, say we were still getting some of the Clone Wars sets, maybe they did it for the Clone Wars show. Maybe they gave us, animated battle droids almost, where they gave us, printed black eyes, they gave us posable legs and arms. I feel like back then it would have been a lot easier to say, hey, look, now we have new battle droids to collect. These new ones don't go with the old ones pretty much. It looks a little out of place, to have the new printed ones go with the old unprinted ones. But I feel like nowadays, we're 25 years into it. I think personally, I would be fine with if we just had the exact same B1 battle droid for the next 100 years. I don't think they need a remake of it. I think any printing on them would kind of almost look a little out of place. And yeah, thanks for the question. And that's a very good one. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts down below. Do you guys think that we actually need a B1 battle droid remake? Definitely leave a comment down below. Next up, we actually have from Sam Ferraro. Ask LBS, do you think the Target exclusive sets will continue to be good investment, such as the TIE Fighter pilot helmet? I really enjoy your thoughts on the channel. I wanted to say thank you. So yeah, thank you, man, for all the comments and the support on the channel. I see you a lot, so I really do appreciate that. And yeah, so first off, I think the fact of the matter where it's actually exclusive to doesn't really matter. I think all that really comes down to is the fact I think less people saw that set to begin with. I think there was actually probably a few people, a few LEGO Star Wars fans that might have never even known that set existed because they're kind of the normal LEGO fan. Maybe they don't go online too much or they don't shop online, and so they don't go to Target for their shopping. They only go to Walmart to shop for their LEGO. So I think as is, whether it's exclusive to anywhere, smaller production runs, there's probably 25% less of those in circulation. Less people actually saw them while they were on shelves, and so now they're finally realizing a couple years later, like, oh, I missed this. And I think, second off too, I think the TIE Fighter pilot helmet is an exception. It was a fantastic set, arguably probably the #1 greatest helmet set so far. And it was the first helmet to retire in the series. So just like with the diorama sets, I kind of said, if we have dioramas for the next 10 years, people will want to go back and get those first couple diorama sets. So I think those will kind of be the exact same concept, pretty good investment, kind of go up in price. But if we compare it to say something like the ATST 4+ Endor set, that thing, if it retired and was, say exclusive to Target, that thing would never go up in value since that's a bad set to begin with. So I think it all comes down to the fact, is it a good set? Is it a bad set? Does it make sense? Is there other stuff going for it? But yeah, I'll be very curious to see, this new Target exclusive helmet coming out in 2023. Will it be a good one? Will it be a helmet? Will it be a diorama set? We don't know fully yet, but hopefully tomorrow we will know. So thanks for the question, man. Moving on to the next question here, we actually have from Joshua Partain. He says, ask LBS, do you think the quality check of LEGO has gone down in the more recent years? I love your content, by the way. I'm always excited for a new video. So yeah, thank you so much for the support, man. And to answer your question is, first off, I kind of have a longer form video on this topic I want to make in a couple days from now, so definitely stay tuned for that. But I think in short term, short answer for right now is yes. I think Lego's getting pretty comfortable nowadays because their sales are up. I think there's more Lego fans than ever, whether they're kind of the normal Lego fan, whether they're people like us that are, say, a little bit more into it, mock builders, Lego investors even. There's a lot more of those people nowadays where I feel like sales for Lego, of course, is at an all-time high, where Lego's probably getting pretty comfortable with the fact of, hey, look, if we skip out on a couple things, that's not going to mess up our sales at all. Since I feel like the normal Lego fans don't care, and I feel like nowadays, say the normal Lego fans or the investors are probably taking up a bigger piece of the pie nowadays compared to, say, people like us that want to, voice our opinion, voice our concerns. It's not like it was 15 years ago where, they were coming out of almost being bankrupt, in the early 2000s where they really had to kind of dial in, make good, product. And Lego was not really a household toy back then, I feel, in the same way it is now. A lot of people liked Lego back then, but it really was kind of more so just a, parents buying it for kids kind of toy. But nowadays we have, people of all ages, we have investors, collectors, builders, like everything in between where, their sales are through the roof now, where they probably won't even care, to actually have a couple mistakes. I think they probably don't care at all because, kind of like some of their statements they make, they're like, oh yeah, we acknowledge we made a mistake. Are we going to fix it? No, we're not. But yeah, we acknowledge it. Yeah, thanks for letting us know. We probably knew it was a mistake even before we put the set out. But like, who really cares, And that's kind of my thoughts on it. I wish Lego would stop doing that. I wish they weren't such like a private corporate company, but that's a whole nother discussion there. So yeah, thanks for the question, man. Next up, we have from Marius Kojo Karu. Sorry if I mispronounced that last name. They say, ask LBS, how many hours a week does a Bricklink store take to run? 40 hours, because you say you do it full time. Can you do this as a side hustle? So first off, I want to say, my experience is a little bit different than I feel like everyone else's because I've been doing this for nearly 10 years now, ever since I was, a teenager pretty much. I started doing it with like my dad pretty much back then. Me and him would kind of collab on it. Of course, he was, kind of running it. I was kind of doing most of the work though. Of course, in the most recent years though, I've taken it over 100% full time, doing 100% my own thing. And, it's a lot easier to say, look, when I'm growing up in a teenage year, throughout high school and stuff, how much money do you really have to be making to, be considered full-time compared to, say, now that I'm 22, I really have to start making that, close to six-figure a year mark. You get what I'm saying? Unlike when I'm in high school, making 20 grand a year is pretty crazy even. You get what I'm saying? But so it's a lot more work nowadays, and I can definitely tell, look, I mean, the more hours you put into it, the better return you're going to get. And especially as you scale your store up, because the smaller the store you are, the less hours you put into it, the less, for sale you're going to have. So the less orders you're going to get. It all kind of depends on like how big of a side hustle you want to make it. Like, do you just want to get, do you want to sell extra pieces on the side that you get? Do you want to just do some pick-a-brick cup, sales? Like that could stuff, that stuff could all work. But you really have to kind of scale up more and more if you want to start making more and more money, of course. So I think, look, 10 hours a week is probably enough. Say you're going to spend maybe 2-3 hours a week packing orders at that point, probably, 6 or 7 hours adding inventory. I think that could definitely work. Nowadays I'm spending probably 40 to like 80 hours because I'm always doing Bricklink, always doing YouTube. I don't pretty much do anything else in my life other than Lego. So I'm putting a lot of hours in, and it's definitely making a good return. But I feel like, look, the smaller hours, just keep on scaling up. Even 10 hours every week for 5 weeks is better than not doing it at all. So that's my recommendation there, and I wish you the best of luck. Definitely let me know how it goes. So next up, you have Giovanni Carbajal, and he says, ask LBS, what are your 3 favorite sets of 2010? I'm going to just kind of make this only Star Wars, and these are very easy for me. I think the 2010 Swamp Speeder is one of my favorites. I think it's a very, kind of nostalgic set. I like how they did the updated version of the OG Phase 2 clone. Next up, the Turbo Tank. The 2010 Turbo Tank, I think, is an all-time great Lego Star Wars set. I'm very happy I have 2 of them, and I remember the days of seeing those on the shelf, and I just love that set to death. Lastly, of course, you guys all know kind of my white whale, kind of my number 1 most wanted Star Wars set right now is the 2010 UCS Imperial Shuttle. Hopefully for my birthday this year, around December time, I can finally get one for myself. But yeah, there's the top 3 right there. 2010 was definitely a very good year for Lego Star Wars, and very nostalgic for me nonetheless. Next up, you have Tyler. I don't want to pronounce that last name since I know I'm going to mess it up, but nonetheless, we have Tyler saying, ask LBS, I just got into Lego Star Wars, but I really only like Clone Wars era sets. Do you feel like we'll get some Separatist vehicles or droid battle packs? I only have the ATT. I would love to flesh out my collection. So yeah, I definitely agree with you, man. I want some more Separatist stuff myself. But I feel like, sadly, this year is just not going to be the year for that. There's an opportunity for it. Clone Wars anniversary, droids are a part of the Clone Wars, of course. And, looking into it, in the summer, we have a lot of kind of cheaper end sets. We have a bunch of $30, $35, $40, $45 sets, which would make perfect sense for, say, Corporate Alliance Tank Droid remake, maybe a Homing Spider Droid remake. But I think it's definitely one of those things where it's very strange that they say come, like, pretty much anytime after 2015, the droids have pretty much been completely sidelined, aside for just giving us regular B1 droids and all these clone sets. And I feel like it's definitely one of those things that we need them pretty soon, man. I feel like a lot of people are, say getting into Lego Star Wars in the past couple of years, and they're only getting literally just a dwarf spider droid with your ATTE and B1 battle droids. We need some of the bigger vehicles. If I had to take a hunch, I would assume Lego's probably gonna cheap out and just give us another homing spider droid this year, and that will literally be the fourth one in fourth one in 15 years, which I think is personally pretty crazy. There's a lot of other separatist vehicles out there, but nonetheless, though, I think probably 2024 will be our time for that. I think 2023 they got a lot of stuff going on, with all the new shows. Mando, Ahsoka, Bad Batch. They have the anniversaries of Episode 6 and Clone Wars anniversary. So, look, I think there's a possibility. I think come summertime, we might be able to see one separatist vehicle, but I think maybe 2024 and beyond, we'll start seeing a little bit more. So yeah, thanks for the question, and good luck on making your droid army bigger, because a lot of people are having that problem these days, man. Next up, we actually have 17 here. He says, ask LBS, do you prefer the new clone heads, the 2008 clone heads, or the angry clone face the best? Personally, I despise the 2008 heads with the big goofy eyes. And look, this is purely probably nostalgic speaking for me, but I gotta go 2008 Clone Wars heads all day, every day. I feel like it's just very nostalgic for me. I think it really kind of generates the look and appearance and kind of the vibe of Clone Wars clones that are animated. You know what I mean? So I'm a big fan of those personally. I do like the new 2020 style. I think they look a lot better. Of course, objectively, even a lot more accurate. I will not deny that. And the one thing I do like about the new 2020 style is, they are at least giving us a little bit of variety. So like Commander Cody, some of the new, Bad Batch members, they are actually giving us unique heads, but I wish they would do it a little bit more. I wish, especially say in the Specialist Battle Pack, they gave us at least 2 different heads. Give us some different facial expressions. Give us one with, some type of not facial hair per se, but just something. Give us a different haircut. Give us some sort of print. Maybe someone with a scar on their face. And I think that's the one last thing I think Lego needs to do to kind of perfect their new clone heads, I think. But yeah, for me, 2008 heads is my favorite, even though it's your least favorite. I think it's pure nostalgic speaking for me, but yeah, 2008 man for me. Next up, we have Am right here, and they just ask a very simple question. Ask LBS, if you could choose Lego's next 2 battle packs, what would they be? So, number 1 being a droid battle pack, I think, kind of going on that other discussion or that other question. I think a droid battle pack for $20, give us 3 B1 battle droids, 2 super battle droids, give us maybe 1 commander droid or a commando droid even, and then lastly give us, instead of a build, instead of a vehicle, give us a brick built crab droid, and then maybe a stap on the side, either a stap or a droidica. I think just something to kind of give us good variety there. I don't really think we need any small droid vehicles. I think we'd actually benefit more from getting a crab droid in there. So that's number 1. Number 2 being a clone or a plain white clone battle pack. And here's my idea. Since we all kind of know Lego is kind of having a hard time giving us different, animated and realistic kind of armor styles, they're kind of just keeping it all the same. At this point, we're not even too sure if they know there's a difference between the two. And especially in the fact of the matter, when it comes down to, they're not giving us any difference between Phase 2 and Phase 1 Clone Trooper armor. So a possibility I see that Lego could do here, they'll probably never do it, but again, this would be perfect. Give us a $20 or a $25 battle pack. Give us a 75-piece ATRT build. Give us 4 sets of plain white clone armor. The legs, the torso, the heads, and then give us a set of 4 plain white, Phase 2 helmets, and also a set of, 4 plain white, Phase 1 clone helmets. So, we could literally just buy a bunch of those battle packs, and at any point, we can change our army from Phase 1 to Phase 2. Don't tell me that wouldn't be a great idea, guys. Leave your thoughts down below. Do you think Lego's ever going to do that? Do you think that's a good idea? Again, for our sake, for the hardcore collectors, we're going to realize, hey, look, the armors aren't right, armors aren't accurate, but at least from Lego's perspective, they'll give us the best of both worlds and make probably a lot of us happy. So there's my Dream 2 battle packs, and let's just see if Lego does them. or anything like it in the next couple years, guys. So next up, you have Gaming Gan here. How did you decide what you put on your shelf in the background for your videos? So yeah, I mean, you guys all see, I have these big shelves in my background, pretty much in every single video you guys see them, especially since the better quality from the camera upgrade. It's a lot easier to see back there. And, number one priority is just the fact of whatever fits back there. Of course, that's a big kind of thing. These shelves aren't super big, especially like some of these cubbies over here. They're only a foot by a foot. You can't really put too much stuff in there. So that's number one. Number two is most of my Lego collection is actually kind of broken down and put away into bins and stuff. So there's not too much to really choose from to begin with. A lot of it's kind of like just newer stuff or more like rare stuff per se. The third thing is, I think on this shelf here, I'll probably start changing out these sets to kind of like new stuff I'm building from like any theme. I'll probably change out this Avatar set. I'm actually building the Avengers Quinjet right here. So you guys will probably see this up on that shelf, probably starting next video even. So that's kind of how I do it. One thing I will quickly say, of course, and there's probably going to be a lot of people even asking today, and understandably, I answer this a whole bunch, though, so I'll probably answer it maybe next week again, or go back to a different one if you guys want the answer, so many people ask me where I get these two things from. So many people. Like, I probably get, on a daily basis, at least 10 comments every day amongst all my videos asking where I got these from. So look, we're all adults here. Look, I'll just be frank with you guys. For the algorithm, for getting comments, having these two in the background helps out a bunch. I think just between these two pieces here, it probably brings in like another 100 comments every week, which of course helps, further promote my videos out there, gives me more push in the algorithm. So, these two right here, I'll just be frank with you guys and transparent. These are a staple in the background. These will never leave the background, probably never even leave these two spots right here because of how much it helps the channel out. So, yeah, there's kind of, the quick, 3 or 4 things I kind of go over when deciding what I put back there. But yeah, thanks for the question. Kind of last question for the week we got from Schmolberry. Ask LBS, do you want to see more Dark Trooper attack style sets? For example, Darth Maul or Darth Vader hallway scenes. And yeah, that's a guaranteed yes. I'll put up a couple pictures right here of very cool custom sets from Brick Wizard 59. And yeah, these are prime examples of a set or like kind of a sub theme of Lego Star Wars that they should be doing every single year. They should be having it, every single spring wave. Give us a $35 version of this. Of course, we have Darth Maul's season 7 scene. We have Darth Vader from Rogue One. Even give us like an episode 4 Tantive 4 scene. Give us one where we have 3 Rebel Fleet Troopers, 3 Stormtroopers, and like just kind of have it in that same vein. Give us 200 pieces for the build, $35, 5 or 6 minifigures, and call it a day on that. I definitely, I'd be very surprised if Lego does not do at least one more of those in the next, say, 5 years or so. Then I feel like another benefit of those sets too is the minifigures. Just like how we have the Dark Trooper attack, gave us 3 brand new Dark Troopers that are a lot easier to get, or I guess they weren't brand new at the time, but very easy to get. Made them a lot more cheaper. A lot easier for people to get multiple of them. And same way with like some of these other hallway scenes. It'd be a nice way to get 3 30-second clones. Again, for all the people that want more of those. For the Darth Maul one, and then also for the Darth Vader ones, it'll be a nice way to finally get some Rebel Fleet Troopers. Because look, I never would have thought, come 2023, I would actually be like begging Lego to give me an easier way to get Rebel Fleet Troopers. But like, there's just no way to get them. Like, no way to get them for cheap, no way to get them for quantity. I would love a Fleet Trooper battle pack personally. I'm not even a big Rebel guy, but it's like they make sense. They're like the standard edition Rebel. Like I want to make an army of them. I think they're pretty cool. I think Lego does them really well. So yeah, there's all the questions for this week, guys. And as always, be sure to leave your questions down below if they were not answered this week. This video is going to come out pretty late today. This video, I've had some trouble filming it so far today. So yeah, sorry for the late upload. And as always, again, leave your questions down below. Hopefully tomorrow we get the new 2023 spring set pictures. Definitely stay tuned to the channel for that. I'll be hopefully one of the first people to actually get them on the channel. And then we'll be having a live stream tomorrow night talking about them. So yeah, that's everything for today's videos, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for you guys later. Bye, guys, and stay safe.